What's going on, everybody? Triple Crown 24 back today, and this is a video that I've been meaning to make since September of last year. There's a few reasons why I haven't done it. So to take it back, our good friend here in the community, those back pages, put out a video in September called "Who Am I?" and it's a fantastic, I think, 49-minute video. I just watched it again today while I was doing some shipping this morning to kind of refresh my memory because I've had a lot on my mind lately. And today I decided was going to be the day that I finally did this video that I've wanted to do. So to take you back then, the day after that he put it out, I watched it because his uploads are usually later at night, and I wake up in the morning, and when I'm doing my work, that's when I check some YouTube. So before I get into work, I check out a few videos where I make sure I want to leave some comments, and because that day happened to be one of them. And I told him through text that I wanted to make my own. Sat down that afternoon to do it, and I couldn't do it. I wasn't happy with the result of what I was putting out there. And I think it's a perfectionist in me because the same thing has happened again today. I have done this 8 times already before. I've gotten about 5 minutes in at the longest on any of this, and it, it wasn't up to my standards. But I think today I'm just gonna try to let myself be a little bit more vulnerable. And if I make some mistakes, if I say something that doesn't make sense, I'm not gonna stop the video. I'm just gonna be authentic. So what's been on my mind lately is about a year ago this time. If you followed the channel back then, if you did it, to let you know that I took a little hiatus, about 2.5 weeks while I went to spring training. Partially because I was going to spring training, but I wanted to do some videos there, and it didn't end up happening. Um, and also just stuff that was going on in my personal life. I said that there was going to be some major changes that I was uncertain of, changes where I had fear about some of the things that would happen. And it's easier to kind of look at that now from a better perspective, being the 1 year mark, and the the iPhone Photos app told me that I had some memories from a year ago, and it was just pictures of me at the ballpark. I think it was at the Diamondbacks ballpark a year ago today, and just watching baseball out there in Arizona. So that kind of reminded me about all this and kind of the culmination of my thoughts I've been having for, I want to say, about the past week or so. And part of it is just talking about who I am a little bit, and kind of getting into some of my goals as a sports car dealer. And finally, here I am mentioning it here, 3.5 minutes in. But I'm just going to roll with it because that was what I'm challenging myself here to do today. So, one of the big things I was thinking about back then, I don't even remember if I mentioned this in the video. Maybe I did. Maybe I hinted at it. I didn't rewatch it before this. Is just like, what is my purpose moving forward? What do I want to do? And decided to start my own business. I'm a sports car dealer. I love it. I really do love it. I wake up every morning, and it's a new adventure every day with it. I think you can tell by the inflection in my voice and the raised volume that I'm really sincere about that. I really do enjoy what I do. And I can't wait for it to just continue to grow and see where it can take me next, because I never really know. And that's one of the beauties of it, is it takes me to new places, and it works out for the better in the end. So all of that too has been unexpected. I didn't really expect to be where I am a year ago today. And for some reasons for better, for some reasons for worse, but overall it's been a positive change. And the one thing that has really stuck with me is kind of figuring out a purpose, and recently start the new decade. Really, I've really been thinking about that. just thinking about where I was at the start of the decade and where I was at the end, and how much has changed, and what I think now compared to then. And one of the questions I get asked is, how far do you want to go with your business? And the answer to that is just simply as far as I can go. I don't set goals for myself, really. I do physically because I have to make sure that this is viable to make a living. Some people might take this for selfishness, but really in reality, I have to be able to take care of myself. I mean, it's basic human needs. So I have to be able to support myself financially with this endeavor. But part of it too is to get to the point where I can give back. And I'll explain that here. So being a sports car dealer isn't the profession that I thought I would choose. And I don't know if that's where I will end with. One of my goals right now is to never have to print out my resume again to apply for a job. I want to be able to take this as far as I can go and successfully have my own business, and I'm confident in it. I believe in myself with it, and I think that's fundamental to this. But at the same time, I really want to take this to the point where I don't have to worry about money anymore, where I can live and comfortably without worry, because then I don't really have to focus on myself as much, or at least providing for myself and making sure that my basic needs for survival are met. I need to make sure that I maintain myself and my health and everything. And once that is squared away, I can focus more so on what I believe my purpose is. And purpose is a really subjective thing. It's something that we manufacture. In my eyes, there are, depending on your religious views, you may have a different view of what your purpose is. I have my own. I think it's a little bit different for everyone. For me, my purpose is to make the lives of other people better. And how am I going to do that with selling baseball cards? How am I going to do that? I don't think it's necessarily the most flashy profession in terms of doing that. I'm not saving lives as a medical professional. That's what I wanted to do when I was really young. And I had a lot of ambitions and dreams when I was younger. I wanted to be a brain surgeon. That was one of the things when I was really young. That's what I wanted to do. And I didn't go to college for anything to do with science or medicine. And I chose the path that I'm on now, and I'm particularly happy with the path I'm on now. I watched a video not too long ago about what would you tell yourself from when you were a kid. So thinking about who I was at the start of the decade, and I think I could proudly tell past me that I'm proud of where I'm at now. And I'm going to be really proud of where this takes me, because I want to be able to help people, and sports cards are my means. And that might sound absolutely ridiculous, but the idea is that through this business, something that I am good at, something that I believe I am knowledgeable at, and I continue to grow my knowledge every day. I'm not an expert. I'm not a master with it. I don't know everything. In fact, I know very little, I would say, compared to all the knowledge that is out there, but I'm willing to learn. And I think that gives me an advantage. So there's that. But with this, I want to be able to get to that point where I don't have to set up a show every weekend. I can take my money and I can help out families in need. I can have someone come work for me who is down on their luck, or they're fresh out of school and maybe they don't have experience, because you need experience to get a job anywhere, right? They get great young minds in there to kind of give them a chance at social mobility, or just a chance to prove themselves, and to be able to be in a position where I can say, you know what, if you screw up, don't worry, we'll figure it out. Now, I mean, there's a restraints of how far I'm willing to go on that, but in general, that's the idea with it. And to be able to use my platform, to be able to use what I'm able to do, to just help other people make their lives better. And I think it's hard to believe that cardboard is going to be the way to get there, but I do believe it, because I mean, there are positives I can do. My business card says connecting collector with collectible. And my goal as a sports card dealer is to make the sports card buying experience as special as I can for any of my customers in any setting, to do whatever I can to make it where it just increases their enjoyment of this hobby, which I think will increase their enjoyment of their life. Because this is something that we do for fun, right? It's something that we do for pleasure. It should be fun. We should create excitement, create memories that last. So I can do good through that, but I'm talking about just larger changes outside of just my profession, and being able to accumulate enough worth, I would say, physically, to be able to really make an impact. And that's going back to my subject earlier, is tell my younger self, is that I can tell my younger self, you know, when you're 22, things are going to be different than what you probably think now. You're not going to have this highly respected profession that everyone has told you up until a certain point that you can do. You're not going to be the best, brightest, any of these superlatives. You're not going to have a large family, and you probably won't find yourself a girl to commit to. You won't. You won't know this now, but there's going to be some bumps in the road that will shape your character. There's going to be some events that come up that maybe put you down sometimes, and they're going to hurt, but you're going to grow from them, and it's gonna help you be more empathetic towards other people. I think that's a big reason why I've had success as a dealer is a lot of empathy, and trying to understand why people buy certain cards. And something that I want to carry on even beyond cards as well. I'm just always trying to understand why people do the things they do. And I will never say that I fully understand anything, because I'm not that person. But at least try to figure out why and have a better understanding. I have to strive and say that I want to have an understanding, because that means that if I don't strive for that, then I'm striving for less than 100%. I just don't think that's constructive for me. So that's kind of my goal as a sports card dealer. I wanted to just put that out there, and that's what I want to do, is want to be able to leave a legacy. Part of what spurred this on too is I watched the celebration of life for Kobe Bryant yesterday, and seeing how many lives that he touched with his influence. And to me, it's just it's tragic. It's absolutely tragic, and it breaks my heart. Just that he's not with us anymore, in terms of how many people that he touched, and the impact that he had on their lives. I'm sure most of us, if not all of us, have lost someone very significant in our lives that had tremendous impact on us. And knowing that he had such a wide reach it's why so many people talk about it. It's why his tragic passing is as tragic as it is, I feel. And those who also lost their lives as part of the crash, why it's tragic for them, and those who they influenced as well. But I have great admiration for what he was able to do in his 40 years of life on Earth, and I was able to positively impact people. I have tremendous respect for that. That's what I want to do, is to be able to enable people to live better lives, and to encourage them to do so. And I struggle sometimes with it too, because I feel that I'm not making any huge contributions. It's just I'm going to sit here in my office a lot of times selling cards, and trying to work my way there. And I just try to remember that I can't build this up in a day. It's going to take time, and I can't rush it. I want to get there as fast as I can, because that means I can help people faster, but it's something that will take time. and I'm very happy with the progress I've made, and I need to make sure that I'm happy with that. I need to remind myself that I've made progress with it, and a good reminder of that is the encouragement and support I get from a lot of you, and it means more to me than I could ever express. Here's another question I get often: why didn't you show your face prior to your 1 year on YouTube? There's been videos where it would be appropriate to do so, or even times where I could just do so for the heck of it, and I didn't. And I don't think I've ever been really open and honest about this before. I've told some people some reasons, and there's truth to them. All of them, there's truth to them. I mean, it was legitimate reasons, but I think I could have worked around those probably. I don't think that they were as big as maybe I made them out to be. The biggest reason was fear. I lived in fear, and I still, to some extent, do live in fear about certain things. Something that I just have to work through. But if you know my age and you know where I was at in life, the judgment of my peers was something I invested way too much into. I didn't know how people would react to this whole Triple Crown 24 thing I've created here. I didn't know, and I feared that unknown. So I didn't let people in, and I didn't want people to be able to recognize me. I'm sure that it's going to sound silly to myself when I say this here, but the extent to which I did to conceal that was really it's mind blowing to think about it now. It's to give you an example. I used to have to watch YouTube whenever I was away from home. I would sign in on an incognito browser, and sometimes I would even leave the area that I was at, so I wouldn't be connected to the Wi-Fi network where it could be traced back that I was watching sports card videos. And I don't know why, and I feel bad for myself back then for feeling like that, for fearing judgment or whatever else may come of it. So that was the biggest reason, and I just also wasn't confident in my appearance. I know I look really young. Um, not always confident in how I appear in a lot of situations. Like when I set up at shows, I usually once a show I get asked, "Is this your table?" And it's people are usually very surprised that I'm set up on my own. I don't have like a parent or I'm not helping out a friend or something at the table just because I don't really look like an adult. I don't look like how old I actually am. So it's a challenge. I'm definitely a young buck in this industry. I know that for sure. I don't think that's a bad thing too. I think that's actually a good thing because we need young people in the hobby to keep it going. And I'm sure everybody here would probably agree with that. Um, Got to pass it down to the next generation. So I don't really know what the point of making this video was, to be quite frank. I think it was more so for myself than anything else, and just putting this out there because it's. I mean, the beauty of YouTube is that we've got archived footage of these videos, right? We can play this back at any time, and if we need to refer to this at any time, we can watch it back. We can leave it. It's a how do I put it? Because it's evidence that I was here. It's directly from my mouth about who I am, and to tell you, anybody who might stumble across this in the future for whatever reason, they know it now too. And I put it out there. It's kind of hard too because I'm really kind of a private person, I would say. Maybe too private. I've gotten off of social media largely for my personal life, and I really don't like to share personal details on social media. And part of it too is just I don't really have anything going on that's worth sharing. I don't think. I mean, I will maybe sometimes see what other people are posting, and I really don't. I don't have any of that stuff to post. I'm not going on weekend getaways with the family or dates with a significant other. I really, I don't. That's not in my life. I don't have those types of things, so I can't really share them. And I'm not really going out and exploring a lot of places. I'm trying to start a business, and it's a lot of it is grinding it out and some late nights staying up just trying to get through the next deck of cards to list and get through the next batch of shipments. But I do it because I think it will be worth it in the end. I know what my goal is. That is to use to build myself here to be able to build others in the future. So I just wanted to make this video and put it out there and see what happens with it. If it doesn't get very good response, maybe I'll just set it to private. I know sometimes some of these things aren't as well received. I don't think I said anything too controversial. That's another thing about me. I'll just go ahead and tack that on there. Is I'm overly sensitive with the things I say and do, and part of that's the empathy thing, but sometimes it's to a ridiculous extent where I really very much don't like upsetting other people because I don't like to see other people upset. So hopefully I didn't say anything in this video that was along those lines. I sure hope not. Probably very few people are still here at this point at the 22-minute mark because I don't imagine this has been the most exciting subject out there. It was definitely a challenge to put out this video because thinking about it now in my head, and I don't think it was very good. And I'm not doing this for attention or to try to make a statement or persuade anyone or anything. I just wanted to showcase anything, or it's just to talk. So that's that. I appreciate you watching if you stayed this long. Next time I'll be back with some more regular content, but figured it was a good time to kind of just turn the camera around and let you know a little bit more about me. A lot of you guys who watch my videos, you watch them more than on occasion. I really do. I mean, you deserve to know more about how I feel and how I think I feel, because I've put myself out there to some extent with just making content in general, but I think that there's pieces that are missing there that sometimes need to be expressed. So yeah, a little bit different video for me. Sorry, it's not as much card related as normal, but I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it if you did, especially if you're here now. I promise I'll wrap it up now. So until next time, have a good one.